Hey everyone, so currently in the independent publisher connector for OpenAI, there is no ChatGPT endpoint, and yeah, it's currently we face some problems deploying it. So I really quickly wanted to show you how to build your own custom connector for the ChatGPT endpoint, where you can use the ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo model or the GPT4 model if you have access to that through the preview. So first of all, we want to head over to the custom connectors. If you don't find it here, you can click on more, discover all, then it will be right here, down right. And we say new custom connector, create from a blank. We're gonna call that ChatGPT. On my other screen, I have the documentation for the API, and I will post a link in the description. So it looks like this, and here's everything we need to know. This is the part that is interesting. Create the chat completion. We want to have this as our base URL. Let this add HTTPS, head over to security, take a quick look right here again, and this is the security part. So there in the header, this is this minus H. There is a property called authorization. I'm gonna copy this. So we select API key, paste authorization in here, and it's in the header. So let's head to the definition and define our first and only action for today. It's called, let's call it chat completion, and the operation ID as well. Now we bring in a sample for our request. So we need this URL right here. It's a post request. And then we take this sample request body. And then we have to define our response. It's a 200 response. So which means if it's successful, it will come back as a 200 response. We copy our demo response right here. And again, we're gonna say import from sample. And then we're gonna copy this right here. And I think, yes, this comma is too much. And now we're gonna hit import. And we are actually good to go. Create the connector, and the next step, have to provide our API key. And then we're good to go to test this thing. So let's do our connection, and this is the same as when you use it first inside of your apps. We have to provide the bearer, a blank, so like this, like you saw here in the documentation. Again, bearer, blank, and then our API key, and I'm gonna copy and paste that really quickly. It's the one that starts with sk slash sk hyphen and then 20 more characters or so, or even more. Head back to our custom connector, to the new one, ChatGPT. And then we can test this. Now we have the connection set up. And use the example request. Gonna paste in the raw body here, test the operation, and should get back our 200 response. Perfect. And now it's going to ask how it can assist us. So let's see how we can use this in an app. Create a new app. Select the data source. And then we just put a button in here and a text input. Gonna put here ask ChatGPT. And then we put a label down here where we will display the result. Overflow to scroll, then it is up here. And this will be and we're gonna call ChatGPT.chatCompletion, the model, and we can use right here the GPT-3 Turbo, or as I said, GPT4. And as the messages, this, as you can see here, actually wants a table. So we're gonna give it a table. And you can use different roles. And the first role, this is really interesting. This is different than what you could do with the GPT-3 API. So first of all, you can say as a first message, you have the role not assistant, but system. And this is where you define what the API can do. And the next part will be content. And I'm gonna go really generic right here. And we will try something else in a second. And this is actually enough for now. And no, it's actually not enough. And the second message is what we're gonna send to it. So this is what the user sends, and the content is our text input. And now we need to close all the brackets. And let's test it. And there is nothing right now because we didn't define what we wanted, but we got a response. So this is really nice. And we're gonna get our message from ChatGPT with first var response dot choices dot message dot content. So this seems to work really well. So let's test another thing. Like I said, you can use GPT-4 through the same API, but only if you are in the preview and your API key is in preview for GPT-4. I'm gonna test this really quickly. And this should work as well perfectly. Similar message. but we can try something else, not this. We can say for the content. So this is the system message. This is how we are warming up this model. So if we are saying right now, pirate uses too much. And if we are asking again, then it will hopefully tell a different story. And as you can see, through providing this different system message, we get a vastly different result, and we can use this to our advantage to give responses that we actually want. So if we want to tell stories, we tell it that it should tell stories. But if we want that it makes business plans for us, then we tell that in the system message. Or if we want it to respond in a JSON message, then we warm it up with examples what that JSON message should look like. And that's it for today. Really quickly, if you haven't built a custom connector before, you see this is really, really simple if you have proper documentation like OpenAI provides. And I hope you will test this out yourselves.